You're listening to the Hella Well with Danielle show, a podcast taking women of color on a journey exploring all things wellness and travel related. We're all about showing you how to put on your oxygen mask first and creating lasting self-care habits that will free you to travel the world and live the life you truly desire, and not one you have to fake loving. I'm your host, Danielle Washington. Now let's buckle up and start this journey. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Hella Well with Danielle podcast. I'm your host, Danielle Washington, and we always talk about power and all these different things, but why aren't we taught as kids the power of words? Like, seriously, think about this. As kids, we're taught sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Those are freaking lies. Words are just as powerful as being sticks and stones, if not actually more. There's a quote, and I always forget who it's by. I think it's named Pearl something, but she says, words are more powerful than an atomic bomb. And it's true. It's so true, but we're not taught this as kids. And I'm kind of pissed that we're given this lie, like, don't worry, sis, words will never hurt you. But I think back to my childhood and I think about the words that were told to me. I think about the seeds that were planted in me as a child through words that were fertilized and said over and over and over, that when I grew up, I started believing them. As a child, I was told, oh, you're just a little whore and you're going to grow up to be nothing. You're stupid. No one wants to hear your opinion. You're meant to be seen, not heard. And as kids, they're like, oh, you're too dark. You're this, you're that. And I internalized those words. Words have the power. Let me phrase that. Words are energy. Like us, like other things in this world, words have energy and they have power. Words have powers to heal. They have power to hurt. They have power to destroy. I mean, look at World War II, Hitler. His words started a whole freaking war. Again, words have power. But they also have power to inspire. They have power to evoke emotion. Think about when you're watching a movie or listening to a song and how those make you feel and those emotions. And I just feel like we were lied to. I was lied to. I'm just gonna go out there and say we all have been lied to about words not mattering. And the Japanese knew this. As this person who's, I've been getting into Reiki, or I am into Reiki, and I really need to talk about this more. But through my Reiki practice, which was kind of odd to me that this would be something that would come out of it, and the power of words, I learned about this Japanese word called Kotodama. And Kotodama means, Koto means word, and Dama means spirit. And it's really talking about the spirit of the words. And the Japanese believed that there was something powerful about using, pure language and in those words. And I agree with it. Think about when you can powerfully say no. Just say it out, like, maybe pause this for a second and just yell out no, like 5 times, like no, no, no. And actually feel when you're saying no. There's some power behind that. When you really believe in the words no. And no is a complete sentence, in case we're wondering about this. Well, my other words that I love, and I think these are like probably the most powerful phrase that we could possibly use is I am. Because what comes after I am can make you feel suicidal and distraught, or it can make you feel like the most powerful person in the world. And I think we forget about that. I think we just say, I am tired. I am too busy. I'm not worthy of these things. I am this, I am that. I am a daughter. We focus on our roles. I am an employee. I am an entrepreneur. I am a mother. I am a sister. I am a caregiver. And we don't think about the things that come behind it. And I remember a couple years ago, I was thinking about creating a vision board. I'm not a vision board person. I get the vision of creating a vision board, but I'm that person who will get all the magazines, cut out all the pictures, and have this big white poster board filled with absolutely nothing. Because I'm just like, I don't know, like if I put it on this board, that means this is what I really want. Am I sure this is what I really want? And so I'll get into my head so much that where I'm like, this is too important to be putting on a board. But what I did instead was I bought a whiteboard and I wanted to write down I am phrases. I wanted to have a visual written board, if that makes any sense. I hope it makes sense. But so what I did was I got a whiteboard and I put in the middle of the whiteboard the words I am. And I thought about it for a second. I wanted to be really intentional with my words because, our subconscious interprets everything that we say to be true. And so I wanted to focus in on nothing negative. I told myself there's no, I am not da 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 da. I am, stupid. I am this, I am that. I didn't want to focus on anything negative. But on top of that, I also did not want to focus on any roles. I didn't want to focus on the roles, my gender, my race that define me. I love being Black. I am Black. But I didn't want to focus in on that. This being kind of my power board, my power phrase is, I wanted to focus on only things that were positive, that were not roles that define me. And so I thought about it. And, I did a little prayer right before. And then I started writing. And at first I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so freaking hard. And then the words just started coming out. I wrote, I am in the middle. And then around it, I started writing, I am rogue. I am bold. I am worthy. I am bootylicious. Yes, I am. Not in the front. But I didn't write that. I am determined. I am powerful. I am fierce. I am vivacious. And so much more. Like the words just kept coming out. And the more words that came out, it just felt more empowering to me. And it lifted my spirits to the point to where every morning when I'd wake up, I would look at the board and I would just start reading the words around the words I am. And right before I went to bed, I'd do the same thing. And at the time, I didn't realize what I was doing, but I was rewiring my brain and how I thought about who I was and how I was defining myself. Because it wasn't about how someone else was defining me, how someone else was saying, oh, you're this, you're that, how society looks at me, oh, you're Black, you're a woman, you're in your 40s, you're this, you're that, you're Californian, you say hellas, you're this way. It was how I saw me and how I saw me, like how I saw me positively, not letting my inner mean girl come in, or as also known as AKA the inner critic. But that's what happens when we're intentional about our words. Because most times we're not intentional about our words. Let's keep it real. I'm not always intentional about my words. If I'm not thinking about it, no, I'm not intentional most of the time about my words. And I'm negating the power of words. I'm negating the Kotodama. I'm forgetting that each word has energy. No matter what you are singing, what you are saying, each word has power, whether you're intentional or not intentional behind it. A perfect example of that for me, I have for years, and I am actively working around it. And even right now, I'm trying to be intentional about my words. I am intentional about my words. But for years, I've called myself a B. Period. I'm like, B, you're this. I'm like, and if I didn't say B, I may say the full word. I'm like, B, why are you doing this? And I would call my friends B. And, it wasn't until someone was like, that don't feel good. Why do you say that? And I'm like, we're cool. I'm saying this out of a, form of respect. And like, we're cool. We're friends. Like, you're my girl. You're my B. And that doesn't feel good to me. And I had to step back and I'm like, I received that. But I also had to look back and like, it don't feel good when I say it to myself either, because I'm not saying it out of love to myself. When I'm saying calling myself a B, that means I'm degrading myself to be like, why didn't you get that? Why didn't you do this? Why weren't you, why didn't you know better? Why didn't you do better? You failed at something. B, B, B. And I realized I was choosing those words and not paying attention to the power of my words. I wasn't being intentional about how I spoke to myself. And on top of that, you think about the inner critic in you, the inner mean girls, I love to call her. And when you're not being intentional and we're not focusing on every single word that comes out of your mouth, she likes to come out and shine. She got her hair done. She got her makeup on right. She's doing a little groove dance. And she gonna come out and shine and show you who is the boss in these word streets. Also known as probably your queen of shade. And she is strong and she is powerful. When we allow her to shine, she will come out and tell you, girl, you ain't got nothing. Honey, bunny, boo, what you thinking? You think you catch that, man? Look in the mirror. You ain't got no money. You ain't cute. You ain't Beyonce. You ain't no Rihanna. I don't know who you thinking. You ain't Meghan Markle. You ain't no princess. You're not going to get that job. You ain't smart enough. You ain't Oprah. You ain't going to change the world. That's that inner mean girl. And her words are so hurtful. And they have such power. But when we're not intentional and we're not focusing on these words that she comes out and says, we are allowing her to define us. We are allowing her to shine. But when we are intentional about the power of our words, when we do recognize that there is spirit and energy in every freaking word that we say, that's when we recognize, and that's when we can really stop her and be like, nope, stop. Nope, you're not defining me. And I've learned when I am focused on my words and how I use them, she don't show up as much. Like she hasn't been around in a while. Like she shows up every blue moon. And I'd be like, nope, then that's kind of my trigger. It'd be like, oh, wait, you're not being intentional about your words. You're not paying attention to the energy behind the words you speak. And that comes in with song lyrics too. If you think about it, we sing all these different songs all day long about like how, oh my God, I've, been hurt. I think of all the Sade songs. Is it a crime for me to love you? You've treated me so bad, but yet I still love you. And, all these different things that we sing to ourselves. There was that Drake song I always like to quote, bad things. There's a lot of bad things that people are wishing on me. And we sing these songs over and over and over. And that's like a mantra. Like mantras are powerful for a reason. They are using words to invoke something powerful in us. When we repeat these song lyrics over and over and over, they're like mantras. Bad things. There's a lot of bad things that they're wishing and wishing and wishing upon us, upon me. I don't want to sing that song by Drake anymore. And I've actually intentionally stopped singing songs like that because I realized that when I'm intentional about my words and I'm singing these songs, my subconscious, which doesn't know if they're good or bad, it just hears what you're saying, and your subconscious like, okay, saying, whatever, that there's a lot of bad things people are wishing upon me. And so your subconscious like, okay, bet, got it, on command. This is what you told me that I should have happen. You want a lot of bad things happening, people wishing things on you. Got you. And that's exactly what you're bringing in. Because those are the words you're using. Your subconscious don't know the difference. Your subconscious hears, I am amazing. I am planning to go to the Maldives. I am planning to take over the world. I am not smart enough. I'm not worthy of going to the Maldives. Whatever you say, the subconscious will be like, bet, I got you. These are the things, and that's how we manifest things. You put out those words that are powerful and they come true because your subconscious doesn't know, again, the difference between good and bad words. It just hears what you say and it takes it in. So when you sing in those, think about the songs you're singing. Think about the lyrics you're singing. And those are the things that you keep repeating over and over and over and over. And you start realizing, oh, these are coming true because you said them. Because you put out these powerful intentions through your words of these are the things you want to happen. So what I've been doing with song lyrics is I've been switching them up. I'll hear a song and I'll start switching the words to say something positive about myself. Like I remember this other song that I love, is by Robert Glasper, it's like I Stand Alone. And I would sing it all the time. And I was like, at first, because it was powerful. Like, I stand alone. I'm powerful alone. But I was like, dude, you're alone. You're alone. And you're singing that I want to be alone. I want to be alone. And I was like, nah, I can't sing the songs anymore. I just switched up the words that I stand together. I stand in a community. Not that I stand alone. So again, I encourage you, when you're singing these songs, think about what you're singing. Because again, everything has intention. Our words have power. But think about if we were more intentional about our words. How would that look like? What would that feel like? You know, I talked a couple of weeks ago about the power of the word should and why we should stop shoulding ourselves. I won't even go into a full, diatribe about that. But like, should is a word that is probably one of the worst words in the world. It like literally, it's such a negative, low vibration. It doesn't make you feel good. It's a judgment. And it's just a word we shouldn't be using. And there's such power in the word should. Same thing with the word want. If you think about it, I want. The word want, you're coming from a place of lack. It's a place of scarcity I want means I lack. So next time, instead of saying I want, think about saying I plan. I want to go to the Maldives. I plan to go to the Maldives. And the difference in that is, instead of coming from a place of lack, you're coming from anticipation of fulfilling something, accomplishing something. I plan to be a well-known Reiki master. I plan to meet my life partner and have someone who is amazing in my life, that I have like my side person, not my side chick. I was going to say my side chick. I'm like, I don't want a side chick because I want a guy. But I meant to say like my partner in crime. That's what I meant to say. But when we say, I want, it's saying, you're saying, I lack. So be intentional about your words. Change want to plan. Change I should to I'd love to. I should go to the gym. I'd love to go to the gym. I should go and meditate. I'd love to go meditate. There's a difference. The small shift in the words. Also, hope and expect. I hope that it won't rain. Well, actually in California, I hope that it does rain. I expect it to rain. I believe in rain. So shifting the word hope for expect and believe in. The other thing I like to talk about is, because I am definitely someone who does this, is we always talk about, keeping it real. And this is one of those moments when keeping it real goes wrong. We say it to ourselves oftentimes, like, I'm tired. I'm too busy. I don't have time for that. I can't afford that. And we justify it by saying, but this is just my reality. This is my reality. I am tired. I can't afford that. I don't have time for that. And just because it's something real doesn't mean that we're not putting out more of that negative energy. And oftentimes when we say these things, like we're saying this oftentimes to people to justify why we can't do something. So instead of justifying something like, oh, I'm too tired to, take you to wherever, or I can't afford to, I don't have enough money to go on that trip with you, or I don't have time to, spend with other people or to start another business. Just say no. Sis, just say no. Simply say no without having to justify whatever you're trying to say was something negative. We use these negative statements, I'm tired, I don't have enough time, or I'm not enough, or I can't afford it, I don't have money. We say all these negative things to justify and explain a decision that could just simply be like, no, I don't want to do that. No, thank you. You can say no, thank you. It's a polite way of making it more polite, or just say no. No is a polite sentence. But we oftentimes use these negative explanations, which again, we're internalizing them. But we say, I don't have time. I don't have money. I can't afford. I'm tired. I'm too busy. It goes back to, again, our subconscious will turn those into reality. We are constantly, unconsciously working to make these statements true. I don't want to make the statements true. And I realized I was saying all the time, I'm tired. The point my mom's like, you're always saying you're tired. And I'm like, you're right. I do say I'm tired constantly, to where my subconscious was making these statements true. So I don't think you want to be telling people I don't have enough money. I'm too busy for this. I don't have enough time. I don't have time. I'm exhausted. I am. Whatever you say after that is so powerful. So I really want to encourage you to really think about how you show up in this world, in your words. How sticks and stones could hurt you, but so can words. Like, I wake up in the morning and I'm conscious about what I say to myself. The first thing I say to myself. I'm a person who believes in a lot of different things. And so I was doing this EFA 101 class, and they were talking about our ori, which is our cells, and like our head, like I put in our head, whatever. And they were talking about that is our most powerful orisha, is our internal self. We are our most powerful orisha. And don't get me, like I will be the first one to admit I am not like, an expert in these things. So if I'm saying something wrong, forgive me. That's how I interpret it. But every morning I say something to myself. I'm grateful for you. Every morning I start off with saying, hey, love. Instead of saying be, I say love. Love. Thank you for waking up this morning. Thank you for taking a breath. Today it's going to be a powerful day. Today I'm going to make epic stuff happen. Today it's going to be my day. Why? Because I'm breathing today. I literally start the day off with a monologue to myself of how I'm going to spend the day. And when I'm in the middle of my day and I'm having moments where I feel like, oh, the inner mean girl is starting to creep out, or I'm not being conscious about my words, I stop and I will be more intentional about what I'm saying to myself. And one of the things that's been really helpful, again, is my Reiki practice. My Reiki practice, through Reiki practice, and I actually want to do a whole new podcast on kind of what I'm about to talk about. But there's the Kotodama, is what we talked about, but they're also known as the 5 Reiki precepts, started by Dr. Mikao Usui. And there's these 5 phrases in Japanese that are so powerful that I say every single morning. And every morning when I say these phrases, I feel stronger. I feel it shifts my mind in so many different ways about how I go about thinking about showing up in this world. And so I do want to have a whole podcast episode on the Kotodamas and the 5 Reiki presets, because it has been something that I say every single day that has changed how I show up. It changes how I feel. And I recognize that this is a process. I'm not going to, go on, a week binge of being intentional. And then all of a sudden, I've done it for 7 days or 5 days and I'm healed. Hallelujah. I'm always going to be good about my words. No, it's a daily practice. Each day I begin again. Each day is a new day to show up for me. Each day is a day to be intentional about how I speak to myself, how I speak to others. And my words matter. When people say Black lives don't matter, when people say all lives matter, when people say, I don't know, I'm just blanking on something, but like, our words matter so much. And yeah, what other people say about us matters and it hurts. And, we listen on social media for validation and we want people to validate our work and our words and who we are. But the validation needs to come from within. And those start with the words you say to yourself. So if you aren't focusing on your words to yourself, I encourage you, get a whiteboard or get a piece of paper and just write the words I am in the middle of it. And write all the things that you are, excluding the roles, excluding your gender, your race, your relationship status, your work status. Exclude anything negative about you and only write, who are you? How are you defining yourself? And see what powerful words come out. And just for today, be intentional about how you speak. Skip the words I want and change it to I plan. I hope to I believe. I expect. I should to I love to. Skip the words I'm tired. I can't. I don't have time for that. I can't afford it. To simply saying no. Practice the word no. Saying no. 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 And honor yourself just for today. Be extraordinarily intentional about your words. Because every word you say, your subconscious is listening to you. It is listening to, it is like the nosiest person, and it's gonna make it's the nosy fairy. It's like, okay, I heard her say that she is, I'm tired. Okay, dun, 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 we're gonna make her tired, because that's, the subconscious nosy fairy. The subconscious will turn everything you say into reality. So make sure, if your subconscious is listening, which it is, to every single word that you say, because there is power and energy and spirit in your words, choose words that you want to come true. I am amazing. I'm going to have a beautiful freaking day. It is going to be my day, because it's today, because I breathe, because I am, because I'm beautiful, because I'm powerful, because I am worthy. You're worthy. I want you to know you're worthy of choosing the right words. And if you don't choose the right words every single time, give yourself compassion and start again. And start again. And start again. I love you. I hope that this has been helpful. And next week, I really do want to go into the Kotodama and talking about, these 5 phrases in Reiki that have really changed my world, and how saying these phrases and these words really show up in a way that empower me. Until then, I will talk to you guys soon. Ciao. Thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hello Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hello Well Danny on Twitter. And if you like hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.